Magnus Carlsen can do things on a chessboard that no one else in the world can, and on September 5, he changed the chess world with a move that no one saw coming. Keep watching this video to find out more on when Magnus Carlsen got caught cheating. The tweet. While Carlsen didn't speak publicly for 3 weeks, his implication was clear. He believed that when 19-year-old Grandmaster Hans Niemann beat him the day before at the prestigious Field Cup, ending Carlsen's undefeated streak in classical chess at 53 games, that he had cheated with computer assistance. It all began with a single tweet at that point. "I've withdrawn from the tournament. I've always enjoyed playing at the STL Chess Club and hope to be back in the future," the world champion wrote. Those words were accompanied by a well-known video of a soccer coach, Jose Mourinho, saying, "If I speak, I'm in big trouble."
Not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
As good as Carlsen is, and he's probably the best in human history, he's no match for stockfish and other chess computers, commonly referred to as chess engines, which can calculate dozens of moves in the future. It's unclear if and how Niemann could have received recommendations from an assistant watching the live stream games, but players cannot have phones or other communication devices on them while they play. But if he had some kind of device concealed, beating the world champion would be easy enough. After Carlsen's withdrawal, the Field Cup introduced extra security measures for subsequent rounds, namely a 15-minute delay between the games and the live stream broadcast. While players were already routinely wanded with a metal detector on entry, Niemann was subject to an especially deliberate check, which took a minute and a half. Niemann sat for routine post-game interviews after his match against Carlsen, and the following one a draw against fellow 19-year-old Grandmaster Alireza Firouzja. Following both, he was criticized by other Grandmasters for missing key aspects of the games he had just played, suggesting to some that he hadn't really been thinking about the moves he made. Carlsen later claimed that Niemann didn't seem to be focusing very hard at key moments. Still, no one has found conclusive evidence that he cheated, and Niemann, while admitting to isolated incidents of cheating in online games, maintains that he has never cheated in an in-person match. Pressure rising. Carlsen's choice, the first time he had ever dropped out of a tournament he had already begun, was the product of years of mounting stakes in the chess world and building mistrust with his specific opponent. This centuries-old game is experiencing unparalleled participation and the largest prize pools in history. Twitch and other live networks offer a new money stream, especially for rising talents like Niemann. Chess.com's total cumulative users more than doubled between 2016 and 2019, reaching 29.7 million. Its user base increased to 48.5 million in 2020, partly due to the epidemic, and then increased to 77.4 million in 2021, thanks to the blockbuster Netflix drama The Queen's Gambit. The site had over 96 million registered members and 30 million monthly active users as of November this year. Another popular site, Lichess, held 44 million games in February 2020 and increased to 73.2 million 2 months later. Since December 2020, the site has maintained those gains and has hosted at least 86 million games per month. There's more to gain from building a name in chess now that more people are interested in playing, watching, and progressing at the game. Fair play. The major online chess platforms make huge investments in catching cheaters. 70% of the bans from the site are automated. Chess.com CEO Eric Alibest told me, "If somebody's playing blitz, in which players typically have 3 to 5 minutes to think during their moves for the entire game, better than Magnus Carlsen plays in classical chess, in which each player gets several hours, you know there's a problem." Algorithms can easily root out players who are simply doing what Chess Engine recommends, and strong players can often sniff out cheaters just from strength and style of their play. Since the start of 2021, Chess.com has closed roughly 18,000 to 35,000 accounts for cheating each month. The site has banned Niemann in the past, and more than 100 other Grandmasters, many of whom were allowed to come back after admitting to cheating. Cheat detection is far and away the #1 investment of man-hours in Lichess, and I would bet the other servers use a similarly large amount of resources, said Lichess community organizer Chris Callahan. Crime and punishment. The room to navigate for cheaters gets a little larger when one considers that both Chess.com and Lichess are terrified of accusing someone innocent. "You don't want to be wrong even 1 in 1,000 times, said Alibest. "The consequences for famous players are clear," said Callahan. "They stop getting invitations to tournaments. Their colleagues look at them as cheaters. It stops all these professional possibilities. They're going to have the crimson letter on their jacket for the rest of their life. But even amateur players suffer consequences because they have friends. They have connections in the real world. Because of the huge number of games being monitored, over 400 million per month on chess.com, a tiny imperfection in the detection system could result in thousands of innocent players getting flagged. That leads to the question of what a chess platform does when it identifies a cheater. Both chess.com and Lichess have taken the approach of banning players privately. While Lichess permanently closes those accounts, chess.com allows players to return under certain conditions. Chess.com has always handled incidents of cheating privately. They're considering adjustments to that policy. "We may internally decide to be more public about that stuff going forward," said Alibest, while maintaining that the company will keep its options open. With that, we come to the end of our video. Recently, chess.com just wrapped up its first global championship, which carried a $1 million prize pool. Niemann, however, was disinvited, following the accusation by Carlsen. It was an awkward move for chess.com, given that the company acquired Carlsen's Play Magnus venture for $82.9 million in August, but it was one that Alibest felt was justified, especially given that the site had caught Niemann cheating multiple times online. Let us know what you think of the entire affair in the comments down below. See you next time. Ciao!